This is Transformational Story number 9 with Leslie M. Thornton. I want to talk for this video about the mind and the suffering that the mind can cause when we're not aware of how it works. So, the way my mind caused me suffering for a large part of my life, from 8 years old until about 22, was thinking constantly about food and exercise and dieting and all of that kind of stuff. And the reason that my mind became obsessed with that was because I kind of took it on as like my project. I was told that my metabolism was slower than my sister's when I was 8 years old, and I was taught about calories and all that kind of stuff. So health just became a priority for me. And sometimes when we're that age, you know, the same things that can bring us a lot of like joy and something to work towards can also end up being like the thing that makes you stress out the most, etc., etc. So it was my whole life of dieting and, you know, Slim Fast shakes by 4th grade and Weight Watchers by 8th grade and Atkins in South Beach and up and down and up and down. When I went to college, it was a little bit better because I could choose what I wanted to eat and when I wanted to eat and how and when I could go to the gym. And so I was in like a pretty good place there. And then I went to study abroad in Mexico, and I actually gave up drinking alcohol because I met someone who didn't drink. And all of a sudden, all of my food habits started really and I was eating a lot more, and I ended up gaining the most in the shortest period of time. I gained like 30 pounds in 4 months while I was in Mexico. And after about 6 months of being fat and happy, I really just got to the end of my rope and just said, like, I'm either going to be fat and happy forever, right, and just let myself continue going, or I'm going to have to figure this out, because why do I have to suffer with this and so many other people in this world don't? And it took a little while, but after I drove cross country with my friend, I was in the San Francisco Public Library, and this is where we can choose to trust that these things are just given to us when we need them or when we're open to them. And I found a book on hypnosis for weight loss, and I was very skeptical. I was trained as a nurse, a personal trainer. Why wouldn't I know about hypnosis if this was really something that worked? But this book actually taught me how, well, first of all about like what it feels like to be stuck in what I call food prison, which it was exactly what I was talking about, just always thinking about food no matter what. And so that helped to clear the shame in knowing that I wasn't the only one. And then it taught me how to create my own hypnosis. And that's actually something that I support my clients in doing now. And I ended up making a script for hypnosis and added in all of my foods that would get me and all the behaviors that I had that would get me. And I went to bed one night with headphones on, listening to the sound of my own voice that I had recorded for this hypnosis script. And I woke up the next day and I felt like I was super zen mode, like almost like there was like an aura around my vision for the rest of the day. I felt at peace, and I felt super aware of my thoughts, and I no longer felt like my thoughts were like super attached. It was like I was able to like take this step back and observe my own thoughts. And I remember going for a run, and at the same time I found this guru who was talking about how you are not your mind and you are not your body. Your mind is just an accumulation of thoughts that are there because of all the things that you've experienced in your life. If you were born in Africa or a different country, you wouldn't be thinking the same thoughts that you're thinking today. And I thought, now that I've just experienced that hypnosis, I really get that, because I'm now able to feel in control of myself around food, at peace, no longer like pulled toward the refrigerator or the cabinet, like just relaxed. And so as I'm running up these hills in San Francisco, I'm realizing that my thoughts were the only thing that were actually stopping me from running. Like, my physical body had the ability physically to continue running, but it was when my mind thought, I'm too tired, I don't want to do this, I can't do this, I can't breathe, whatever it was, that's when I would stop. So it was like, I'm just going to override that thought and put in something positive, like I can keep going. And that's how the mind works. So when we're not aware of what thoughts are going through our minds, we might be stopping ourselves. We might be blocking ourselves from doing exactly the thing that we really want to do. And if we're not doing the thing that we really want to do and we keep beating ourselves up for it, then it's worth looking at, why am I not doing it? You know, like, do I believe that if I were to actually get into shape that I might be, more desirable by men, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. That comes up with clients all the time. Or it doesn't actually matter to me because I haven't really addressed why I really care about getting fit. Maybe it's not something that I really value as much as I think that I do, because I don't really care what people think about me, or I don't really care if my bathing suit looks amazing, or you know what I mean. So it's like getting real and telling ourselves the truth. So I realized that, and so hypnosis became something that I practice ongoingly, because the thing is, our brains are very animalistic, and so when we're in this untrained mode of just letting it think about whatever normal things it's going to think about and stress about all day long, we get stuck in that, and we have to actually continue practicing to implement into our minds what it is that we do want to have happen instead, and how we do want to feel, and how we do want to be. And it's a daily, ongoing practice. Meditation is something that is definitely part of my life. For the last 3 years now, I've been meditating day and night, almost like without any pause. I mean, there's been some times where I've fallen off a little bit, but overall, very consistent. And absolutely vital part of my slowing down my mind, which has the ability to work at 1,000 miles an hour, and just get really real with myself. Let myself feel any emotions that are there. Since I started meditating, I was able to leave a 9-year-long relationship. I was able to leave my nursing job that was not bringing me any joy. It took a long time for me to be able to do those things. It took me 8 months of feeling like I wanted to leave the relationship and working through the fears before I left. It took me 9 months to leave nursing after lots of stress and being upset about being afraid of, what am I going to do without health insurance, what am I going to, all of those things, those natural things that can come up. So I'm not trying to say that it's a quick fix, but I downloaded a message in my meditation one day, finally, when I was really wanting to leave my nursing career, that just said, "Thy will be done." And I can't describe it. It was just like that. It wasn't a voice or anything, but it was just like that message came through, and I just had this whole body knowing that it was time for me to put in my notice and that I was to leave that job. And I really don't think, and I also left grad school knowing that that wasn't what I really wanted. My life would not have been as accelerated and closer to who I really am and what I really want to be doing in my life had I not been meditating, had I not been controlling and becoming aware of what thoughts are going through my mind and choosing a better thought and choosing to be true and to listen to my inner guidance. So that's my story about how important it is for you to be mindful and take that time every day to get real with yourself. Whatever that looks like to you. I've heard a definition of meditation that's taking daily contemplation of your life, and that was by Elizabeth Gilbert. I heard her say that, and I like that. So whatever that is, journaling, running without music so that you can listen to your thoughts, praying, meditating, hypnosis, whatever it is, however you can slow down your thoughts and get present to what is true for you, worthwhile investment. This is Transformational Story number 9, and I'm Leslie M. Thornton.